Miss you.
I know that.
You miss me too?
No. Not at all. I don't love you.
Now, I don't know if you guys remember Stevie J. He was down with Bad Boy Records back in the day when it was really popping. Great producer, great songwriter, great engineer. And he recently was married to Faith Evans, who was weirdly Biggie Small's wife. You know, we always talk about women hitting the wall, but there were also instances where men hit the wall. And what happens at these times is a man starts to believe that his best option is a woman from the past. So he does the embarrassing thing of going to these women, apologizing and begging for the things that he did when he was younger and more vibrant and had more options. But even worse than that, he begs for those women to take him back, even after all of these years. When you see something like this, it does two things. One thing it does is makes you appreciate that you haven't developed those type of animosity-filled relationships with women in your past. And it also makes you thankful that you still have options where you don't have to do something like this, because this is absolutely embarrassing. Now, Faith hasn't responded, but Jocelyn Hernandez has responded. Or shall I say, Jocelyn Hernandez. Let's take a listen to this video, man, and we'll come back and chop it up on a real tip. And I'll let you men know the error in your ways if you believe that this is the thing you should do. This isn't your last option. This never is an option.
What?
I'm just listening to the bullshit you got to say. That's all I'm doing. What are you gonna tell me?
I miss you.
I know that.
You miss me too?
No. Not at all. I don't love you.
Now, when you see a man doing these types of things, man, for a brief moment, there's a tad bit of sympathy for him, but then you realize that these scenarios are created by you as a man. Absolutely created. See, when you're a man and you have these understanding with these women, man, and you realize that the worst thing you could do, the absolute worst thing you could do is put yourself in a situation where you ever feel like you have to go begging a woman back. Even if it's your current woman. If you were the woman right now and she decides she want to leave for whatever reason, even if it's something you did, man, you don't beg no woman back. Because by the time she leaves, it's too late to be begging anyway. All you're doing is making a fool of yourself. You're making yourself look terrible. You make yourself look horrible. And no man should really want that for himself. Now, when you see the position of power he put Jocelyn Hernandez in, man, just look at the air of confidence. When he told her, I miss you, she said, I know. When this happens, this is letting you know right then that there ain't a snowball's chance in hell. You have already crossed the line that can never be recovered from. Then he obviously asked her, do you love me? If you got to ask a woman that, you already know the answer. See, when a relationship is over, you eliminate it from your mind as a possibility from being recovered. I met a man while I was fishing, man. Told me he was married to the woman for 10 years. Then they separated for 10 years. Then they messed around, got married again. He married to her now, miserable. And I asked him, why did he do it? He said, because she wanted him back. Now I ask you, is it that important to you that a woman want you? Even after she was with you, decided that she wanted to go out there and wild out a little bit longer and try some more things. And then when she got through playing out there or she ran out of options, she came back to you, which is her best option. If it is, then you have some soul searching to do. You don't value yourself the way you need to value yourself, because none of us should be willing to put ourselves in a situation like this. This is an embarrassing situation. This is a situation that reeks of low self-esteem, reeks of low self-value, and it also reeks of low self-character. This guy has no character. Because if you do, then you have to look at yourself in the mirror and you know that this just isn't something you're going to do. Once it's over in a woman's mind, bro. Stop telling yourself that at any point in life, when you're a young man, when you're a middle-aged man, when you're an old man, stop telling yourself that a woman's presence or a woman's approval of you is your validation. Because if you can get validation from one woman, out of all the things you've accomplished in life, and even if you gained them and lost them, it doesn't matter. If you go to the mountaintop, it don't matter if you come back down the other side. You know what it feels like at the mountaintop. And to accomplish that in any aspect of life, there's no way that a woman's validation should be able to fulfill the emptiness that you have from not achieving the things that you want to achieve in life any longer or losing those things. It pales in comparison. So it just goes to show you how lowly this man is mentally, emotionally, spiritually, when he believes that this is his best option. No man should ever believe that this is his best option, that this is any option. And if you recall, even before he has a baby mama named Mimi Faust, she had an intimate tape floating about that had all kind of women trying to use the shower curtain in the bathroom and hang on to it like Tarzan and Jane. You got to keep in mind, man, that when you are a certain type of man, the women in your life are affected negatively by your presence. And if they're affected negatively by your presence, then you already destroying your own life. That's why the goal can never be the woman. The goal has to be building yourself into the best version of yourself to make sure that you can sustain anything that you obtain, that you can refrain from destroying any positive goal that you attain. It is your job as a man to protect yourself, even from yourself. And this man is not protecting himself from himself. First of all, it's absolutely weird for you to marry Biggie's wife, ex-wife, whatever you want to call her. But just knowing what that organization was, what that label was, and for you to go do that is automatically weird. That was never going to work. But it just goes to show you, if that woman is even an option for you, man, something's wrong with you. That's like some of you men, you're around here looking and you just want to get the best looking woman you can. Well, what about the woman that may be plain looking, but she's pretty and she got eyes for you and she's a good girl? What about her? You're too busy looking at what you think society wants you to have and what you can walk around with arm candy and get props for. And then sometimes you're just settling for the best thing you can get. And it ends up being the worst thing you could have done. And Stevie J is a prime example of that. None of us is supposed to live a life where we look out into the world and we say the best thing we could have is a woman that doesn't deserve us, or a woman that doesn't fit into our life, or a woman that shines a negative light on our lives, or a woman that brings negative energy into our lives. But men do it every day. This is just one example of it. There are men who are seeking arrangements, meeting women through business deals and trying to turn it into a marriage. There are men who are meeting women on social media and trying to turn it into a marriage. There are men who are meeting women at nightclubs and trying to turn it into a marriage. There are men who are meeting women in all different types of places and trying to turn something that could never be into something that they wish it could be. And it's just never going to happen. And you're going to be a man that's going to have this up and down roller coaster relationship with women over and over throughout your life until you get to the point where you're so old that you can't do it anymore, and you look back and realize that you wasted too many years playing games with women. Only thing worse than wasting time trying to build with a woman is wasting time playing like you want to build with a bunch of women. That has a greater negative effect on your entire being. But mainly, your respect for yourself, your belief in yourself, and your love for yourself. Y'all comment down below and let me know what you think about this topic, man. I look forward to hearing what you men have to say. I'm out.
Alphas up, betas down, it's the motto. Simps claiming that they pimps, but they not though. Alphas up, betas down, it's the motto. Suckers claiming to be players, but they not though. Alphas up, betas down, it's the motto. Tricks acting like they max, but they not though. Alphas up, betas down, it's the motto. Betas claiming to be alpha, but they not though. that you shouldn't value your woman at all. A woman does have value, but you can't overvalue her